Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. From touchdowns to liquid air on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What's going on, Chris? What's going on, dude? Sorry I'm late. I'm having the damnedest of internet issues right now. What's up, Carlos? I am having I don't know if my router just crashed or I gotta reset it, but right now, because my computer is connected to my modem via the Ethernet. So I'm rolling through the Ethernet right now, but there's something going on with my router. I'm gonna have to get a new router. I'm getting me a mesh network, my next one. This is just TP-Link thing with all of the antennas, and I done had this for a couple years, so maybe it's time to upgrade. Maybe it's time to upgrade. But in any case, what's going on? I'll take the dub, Carlos. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. But you know what? I feel exactly how I felt last week, to be honest with you. But what I will say is this. Chris, I think you alluded to it last week when we talked. I think Kevin Patullo ain't up to snuff. It's just I don't know. I don't know. Jalen missed some throws. AJ is gonna get killed this week because he shortchanged that one route again. The same route he eased up last time, he eased up again this time, and Jalen came to him, and that was Smitty had a bad game. He drops and all of that type of stuff. But the standard to and fro, I don't know what. Listen, when we run the push, right? Jalen has to slide to his left. You cannot go forward. You cannot go straight ahead. The reason why you can't go straight ahead, the way the play is designed, everybody in front of you is going down. Oh, they are digging. They are trying to take the legs out of the guys in front of them. So if Jalen goes straight ahead, he is 100% dependent upon the guys that are literally pushing him. That's where the push comes from. If he slides to the left, because there is always 100% of the time, there is always a gap to the left because everybody's trying to pinch. If he slides to the left, slides right over his left guard, and they push him at an angle, he will get 2 to 3 yards every crack. You cannot go straight ahead. I don't understand why they haven't figured that out. Or maybe they have, and Jalen's just trying to. There's no reason we should not get a tush push every time we run that play. But you got to slide left. You have to slide left. That is the natural weak point of the defensive line because everybody's trying to pinch on the center. Guard, center, guard. You go right off that guard's left butt cheek. Take that angle, and you will get 2 or 3 yards every time you run that play. If you go forward, if you go straight ahead, you are dependent upon the guys pushing you. So take that for what it's worth. But I feel exactly the same way I did last week. Like, I am glad we got the dub, but I feel like we are in the same situation that we have to our defense is so good right now N'Kobe Dean is playing out of his mind. Jalen Phillips is playing out of his mind. Jordan Davis is playing out of his mind. Jalen Carter is playing out of his mind. Cooper DeJean is playing out of his mind. Quinyon Mitchell is playing out of his mind. Everybody is balling. Everybody's balling. And the offense can't seem to get it together. And you know what? I'll say it again. Jalen has some bad throws, but that's not, I think most of the time, at this point, I gotta call it. I gotta call it, man. Kevin Patullo as he is not the brain we need calling the plays. I just his his rhythm and his um like I don't understand what he's looking for. I don't get it. I don't get it. We take Saquon and tell him to run outside. They ran that one play. He outran the end. He outran the end man on the line of scrimmage. Outran him, beat him to the corner, and I'm like, that's all you got to do. And he still made what 4 to 6 yards. I think he ended up getting 5 yards on that play. I'll take that. Get him outside. Stop running in between the tackles all the damn time. Tank Bigsby comes in there and he bounces every play. And every play he's getting like 6 to 8 yards. He's got to figure it out. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. And I don't want it to be a situation where the defense is saving our ass every game. This reminds me of the Ravens. This reminds me of that Baltimore team with what's the quarterback? Because the offense was Trent Dilfer that year. That's what this reminds me of. Because I don't know what we don't know what we're gonna get from the offense, but the defense is solid. So in my mind, that's the offensive coordinator. We have to do a better job um, of mixing it up, and just our offensive flow is just not good. It just not. And there's no two ways about it. It's it's adequate. It's adequate. We are. Let me see. Jalen Hurts, 14 for 28, 135. We got to be better than that, man. I'm sorry. And once again, AJ Brown was right. I hope y'all didn't put him on your fantasy team. He tried to tell you. He tried to tell you. He tried to tell you. 7 receptions for 49 yards, 11 targets. Dotson 2, Goddard 5, Smith 5. Smitty had 1 catch for 8 yards tonight. That don't make no damn sense. Shooting ourselves in the foot. Just imagine what we would do. And again, that was a good win because we beat a good team. And like me and Tone said, this was a litmus test tonight. This was a litmus test. But we passed it. I still don't feel great about it. I still don't feel great about it. It's just some things that we got to do. Defense, I said the same thing last week. I'm going to say it again. Defense, y'all head on into the locker room. There's a bus waiting for you. It's going to take you to my house in the Hamptons. All right. Everybody get their own room. There's snacks in the room. Everybody got a PlayStation. The big screen is on. The fireplace is rolling. Y'all good. Y'all just relax. Offense, y'all stay on the field. Y'all got sprints. That's how I feel with the offense. That's how it looks. It's like a lawnmower, like an old lawnmower that it takes 2, 3, and 4 pulls for that thing to start. And even when it starts, it's sputtering and popping, and it's not running smoothly. And that's where we have to get with this offense. Yeah, see, my phone is telling me all my Wi-Fi networks are non-existent now. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? So I'm gonna have to figure this out. I'm not gonna be on too long, but you know what? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pop the mic open. So it's Chris. I mean, bland is a good word for it, man. Bland. I mean, the chicken is cooked, it's crispy, but there's no salt. You didn't. There's no salt and pepper on it. It's just bland. It's cooked nice, but it's just and that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. That's the best way I can put it, man. I don't know what else to say with it. What's going on, Chris?
Whew. What's going on, Coach?
Hey, man, a win is a win. I just, at this point, you're gonna have two camps tomorrow on the radio. You're gonna have one camp that's gonna say a win is a win, and you're gonna have another camp that's not gonna be satisfied. And honestly, right now, I am not satisfied.
I mean,
That's the best way I can put it.
to be honest with you, I learned a quote a few years back, and I kind of stuck with it. You can only get disappointed when your expectations is high. I don't know why at this point anybody would look at our offense and have high expectations. I was saying that
I don't have high expectations. I just,
Yeah.
but my expectations are that they should be a competent offense.
I mean, yeah, you would think, but I mean, at this point, I'm with you on that. I'm just only, I expect that too, but I'm just going off what's been put on tape and film for the
You're
last
right.
3 months. I'm with you. I have the same sort of aspirations, expectations. But when I was saying it like in the chat and when you and Tone were this morning and throughout the week, I said like when people were talking about, well, Detroit plays this type of defense and they have guys in the secondary. I said, so what? So what? We don't play. What have we done consistently this year to make you believe we can take advantage of anything anybody does? We ain't did.
We've had sparks.
Yeah,
We've had
sparks.
glimpses, but we can't. It's like we can't hold that glamour.
Yeah.
It's almost like a spell, and it's running out, and we can't.
Yeah.
I don't know if we got the right reagents, we got the right components. I don't know, but it's not. It ain't getting done, and I'm just like the offensive line is down again. Lane Johnson is out. Cam Jurgens is out, so we right back in the same position again. So I guess this is what it's going to be, and we're going to have to grind our way out of every game into the playoffs. Defense is going to have to take us to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, and to keep it 100 with you, Detroit was ready to lose this game in the first half if we had a competent offense. Game would have been over then. I mean, because they gave us countless times with great field position.
Well, you know what? That's Dan Campbell being stupid.
Yeah, but but you know what though?
That's Dan Campbell being stupid.
I will say he's stupid, but when them plays is working, they working, and you got to stop. And you got to stop them. Somebody got to stop.
If I'm Dan Campbell, every other play I'm going to Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
Until we prove that we can stop him, I'm going to Jahmyr Gibbs every chance. We was doing a good job against him with the run, but they started hitting them with the screen passes, and he was killing us.
He was.
And
I think what it was, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but they got so many dudes that I really feel like, you know what? You obviously don't want nobody individually to kill you because they are good enough to do so. But you know what? When you got that many dudes, maybe you say, all right, Jahmyr, you're going to get yours, but we're going to try to contain everybody else as best as possible. And they did a good job of that.
They had a lot of injuries too.
Yeah, they did.
They got some raw calls from the refs because that was
the PI at the end was shaky.
PI at the end was some straight up bullshit.
Yeah, but there was the false start call on the touch push that we were going to do, which wasn't the false start. The neutral zone infraction.
That was a neutral zone infraction. How come you can't challenge that?
Yeah, I don't know. Then there was
you can't challenge it, but
on that first field goal drive when AJ was breaking for the slant, it was a pass interference on that one they didn't call when they held his arm. So
You're
there
right.
was that. So, I mean, obviously, I think it's because at the end of the game, it obviously seems like it weighs more. But there were calls early on that, made impacts on the game that went in their favor. So it is what it is. But like I said, from our perspective, man, I mean, our defense is spectacular. Spectacular. And it just sucks that we are so bad offensively that we can't put teams away. Like, if we had, like I said, if we had a decent, not even a spectacular, if we had a decent offense, we would have won this game by at least 3 scores. A
Oh yeah.
decent, a decent NFL offense, not like the greatest show on turf. If we were just decent and could capitalize on good field position like most teams in the NFL can do, we'd have won this game like 27-9 or something like that. Just at least by 3. Like, it wouldn't even came down to that last play. But
I'm scared to listen to the radio this week because I don't want
oh
to.
my God,
I don't
I'm
want to get
tired of
caught
it.
up with. I just like.
And
I just need y'all to be better, man. I just
yeah,
need y'all.
and there's gonna be, and I'm gonna be ahead on this. There's gonna be the fools out there that, well, they forced the ball to AJ. I'm like, dude, the offense sucked. Period. It don't matter who we throwing the ball to. AJ,
Right. It
Devontae.
don't. It don't. We do enough
It,
to move the field. The defense gives us good field position. We can move the ball, and then when we move the ball, like they don't. I'm like,
but
come on, Kev, you got to do better than this, bro.
looking back at it, I saw this going back because one thing I do, and you can't always do this, but one thing I do look at is like when we play teams, especially defensively, or when our offense plays against certain teams' defense, I always try to look at what they've kind of been doing before and after they play us. And I'm like, from week 1, I'm like, that Cowboy defense has been the worst defense probably in the league all year. But their best performance was probably the one against us week 1.
Was against us, and now everybody gonna do the same. And Detroit,
everybody gonna do the same thing.
Well, no, Detroit watched the Green Bay tape.
Oh yeah, and they
They
just
did
went
the
with.
same. They did some of the same stuff, and rightfully so. You keep doing it until we prove that we can beat it.
Yeah,
but it's too.
It's bad.
It's 3rd and 25. Why we run a quick slant with AJ Brown?
I think that
how
was
can we
true.
run that on first down?
I don't know.
That's the type of stuff we get. That's the type of stuff where I think people talking about Kevin Patullo gets predictable.
Yeah, it's this offense, man, is so bad. Like, it's frustrating. The false starts, the inability to run the ball because guys is getting blown up. I mean, I know Saquon got to be frustrated.
Even when look at 23 when the bottom dropped out. As bad as the defense was in 23, the offense was still putting up points.
Oh yeah, that's why I commented on one of your videos. I'm like, man, I wish we had Brian Johnson now because we'd be blowing teams out. If Brian Johnson had this defense, we'd be all right. We really would, because we were putting up, because we were putting up points. But this is beyond disgraceful. And anybody
was that you that posted that thing on Twitter that said internal hires don't work or something like that?
No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. Somebody else.
Said someone said something about
I think
internal hires don't work.
Yeah, one of them fan pages.
Man, I saw that roster of people. They put it on the broadcast. All of the offensive coordinators that Jalen has had, and the only time he had the same coordinator for 2 years in a row, both times we went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Shane Steichen and Kellen Moore.
Yeah, and because we do so well and we win, those guys get poached and they get head coaching jobs, and we kind of get left with whatever. But I was saying it too, that my thing with even Patullo, again, I was saying this kind of early on because I'm like, if he's incapable, or why would you give a first-time guy this high profile of a job? Like, I get it. He's been there. I get it. But if he was, like I said, if he was in Tennessee or somewhere where he wasn't having this type of pressure, maybe he could go through some of his growing pains. But clearly, this profile of job is hard to ask anybody to do, let alone somebody who's never had it before.
Yeah, but that's one of them situations where you're not gonna get it until you get it.
Yeah, but I'm saying I agree. But is this where you want to get it at though? For this type,
you don't have a choice though. You don't have a choice. Costa, you're right. Nick hired his buddy, but that's the benefit. I can't get mad at the nepotism in this because it happens around the league. People know people. That's the way it works. You win some, you lose some. Unfortunately for us, we lose in this one because
badly.
technically, we can say the same thing about Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio has ties to Philadelphia, so he wanted to come to Philadelphia before he went to Miami. The only reason he went to Miami is because he had already made an agreement with him, and he didn't want to renege on his word. So he played his contract, stayed down there for 2 years, and the minute they was going in a different direction, he was out. And he had already let Philadelphia know he wanted to come back home. And that's exactly what happened. It just happened to work out that way for him and us. And we are better for it. But
No, man. Oof.
you know people that don't bother me. What bothers me is clearly this is not working.
It's not.
But here's the problem though. I don't necessarily want Nick Sirianni calling the plays either.
No, I
Because
don't.
his history calling the plays isn't very good as well.
It's bad. It's bad. What I
So,
what
Nick Sirianni has been the CEO coach. We ridiculed him when he wanted to take that moniker, but he's been very adept at it. He's been one of the best in the league as a head coach. So leave that alone. But to your point, you can't get your buddy in here because no, you can get your buddy in there, but if it doesn't work, you got to be strong enough to say it ain't working.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, I never thought I would say this considering all the, talent we got on offense, but I'm now starting to feel like or fear a little bit. We're going to waste the offense might waste a generational defense because this defense is ridiculous, man. Like
And
this
now
defense
that
is
Jalen Phillips got another sack tonight.
another one. Like even Adoree'. I mean, even Adoree' playing good ball. I mean, like this is crazy. I mean, Nakobe Dean is phenomenal.
Nakobe Dean is nice. Adoree'. The thing with the DBs, you got to get comfortable where you are. Period. We knew what Keely Ringo had his opportunity.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad for Keely Ringo, even though I was a fan. Special teams is where he needs to be. Period. If he's got to get in there in the pinch, so be it. We'll have to live with it. But Adoree' Jackson is a much better option. Jacorian Bennett is probably a much better option than all the guys we just signed that didn't retire are much better options. But that's the thing that Howie does. You need them when you need them. If you don't need them, you're not worried about them. And that's the way it should be. You just want them to. You want your second string guys to be good. You don't want them to just be a guy.
Absolutely.
So Kevin Patullo wasn't even smart enough when they brought in Avonte Maddox
to go at him.
Right at Avonte Maddox.
They said it on the broadcast. He was like, man, I think Collinsworth was like, man, Avonte Maddox just came in fresh off the bench. You might want to take a look at going at him.
Not that he ain't a good player, but he fresh off the bench. He ain't warmed up. Them hamstrings is tight. Man, I'm running the go route right at him.
Yeah, and I think he was lined up, assuming because they were playing a lot of men. He was lined up over Smitty prior to the snap. So they never went that way. Again, that's what I say about our offense. I don't care who we play. I don't care what matchup we got. There's a commitment to we're gonna just do what we do. And I'm like, okay, it's fun when it works, but when it don't, that's what it looked like. And I'm just like, I'm just beyond frustrated with this. I mean, this offense is just god awful. I'm tired of even like ranting about it. It's 11 weeks in now.
It is.
We done played a lot of good teams, and we've won. To our credit, the perseverance, the defense is great.
This is what we are.
This
is what we are. We are at altitude right now with our offense. We're gonna have a couple of peaks. We're gonna have a couple more games where we peak.
Yeah, it is.
But when we peak, that means Jalen Hurts is throwing somewhere around 250. That's when he peaks.
Yeah,
we're lucky if we get another 300-yard game. The way this offense is going.
Yeah,
AJ was right.
He was right.
Take me off your fantasy team.
One thing that's killing the level of softness with some of the Eagle fan base is crazy. Even that twisting, I took it as he was just kind of laughing at himself. He wasn't he wasn't taking no shot at nobody. He was right. take me off your fantasy team. He's just saying that, look, take me off the fantasy team because I'm not going to put up no big numbers. He didn't mean it in a way to take no shot at
No,
nobody. He
and
was just
even
right.
if he did, it wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter.
Even if he did point that at somebody, there's so many other situations where people have done a lot worse.
Did you see Justin Jefferson today?
I was just about to say that.
I'm like, yo,
just about to say it. Did you see my tweet about that?
I think you added Diana Rossini.
Yeah,
and I think it was a couple other people. I think Tone, but I'm like that. But see, that's the stuff that when I look, because I expect what I expect someone from the media, but when I look at people, fans, and I guess they sometimes don't be paying attention either. Y'all be so ego-centered that y'all don't look across the league and look at some of these actions that these other guys do. That's way worse. I haven't seen AJ slam a helmet, cuss nobody out. I ain't seen him do none of that. And Justin over there, who's another top flight dude, I don't know. They said it was because of a catch or not. I don't know. But either way, he's slamming his helmet. He's being upset. And I'm like, y'all, yeah. Look at that. Let AJ do that, coach.
Oh, I know.
That's what when I get upset, because you've alluded to when I hear some of the stuff like people say in Philly, like, well, AJ's such a diva and I'm tired of his stuff. I'm like, what stuff are y'all talking about? Do y'all know what that really look like? Like,
well, that's them going off the national media, so it is what it is. Yo, I did see that Chase got. He probably gonna get suspended for that. Matter of fact, he might get suspended more than Jalen Carter got, because the word is out from Jalen Carter.
Oh,
so now it's like you knew what was coming if you did that, and you did it anyways. So he might get like a 2-game suspension.
And 2-game suspension, probably with no pay and a fine. Like, because
if you suspended, you don't get pay. So
okay, gotcha.
That's automatic.
Oh, okay. So sometimes they always put that tad bit in there, so they'd be like suspension with
sometimes
no
the teams they'll take care of that for you. But it is what it is.
But man, I mean, what can I say? I mean, just to look at it, I mean, I'm out of words, coach.
We got the win. We got the win.
Yeah. I mean, our defense is, like I said, and the thing is, and coach, you played offense, you were running back, and I think, and this is what AJ was alluding to earlier. Obviously, it's a team game. Everybody partakes in the game, and everybody wins as a team. But if you play one side of the ball, especially if you're on the Eagles' offense right now, there's no way you're looking at yourself feeling as good about yourself as the defense does, because you're just looking at it like, if you're being objective about it, like, yo, we're not carrying no weight. We are not carrying no weight. We gave up that defense.
I told Tone this earlier today, and I said that this is like, it's like you being on your everyday job, and you go through this project that everybody has to contribute, and y'all struggle with it. But there is something that you could be doing that will make it easier for everybody. But whoever's the head of this project won't let you do it. Now, when you get it done, everybody's happy it got done and on to the next one. But everybody knows it could have been so much easier.
Yep.
It could have been so much easier. So I don't understand. Well, no, I do understand why Kevin Patullo does what he does. He is stuck in his ways. Here's what you got to remember. Doing this, calling this type of offense, is what got him here.
Yeah, and that's why, for me, at this point, when it comes to the offense, it's a collective thing. It's everybody. Head coach, OC,
it is.
Quarterback, it's everybody. Jalen. I mean, there were some drops today, slipping through guys' hands. There was a couple errant throws. But I mean, like I said, I saw this really going back to week 1 when I'm like, how can the team hold AJ Brown to 2 catches or Smitty to 1 catch? I'm like, ain't no defense that good. They ain't that good. They good. They ain't that good. And from that point, especially the Cowboy defense, they're horrible. And we play them next week. And I don't know. The way we play offense, everybody's gonna have a career day against us on defense. I don't know. We're gonna get a lot of we're gonna get a lot of defensive coordinators hired. Like, because we just stink. False starts.
We don't
on offense.
I don't even want to say we stink. We just It's not. We don't
What
stink. We're not predictable. We're just very mundane and
are we?
very. We do. It's like that C student in the class. They do just enough to get a passing grade.
You think we a C offense right now? I think a C offense would have won by at least 2 scores tonight. I think we
No,
like
because to me, a C is the bare minimum. A
I
C
guess.
is the bare minimum. So a C is still passable, and as long as you winning, that's how I look at it. Yes, you could do better, but it's passable. Period.
But here's my one question. I want you to kind of help me out with that. When you say it's passable, because the way I look at it, it's a team game. Are you getting a pass because you won, or are you getting a pass because your performance warranted you win? Like, in other words, is this a passing grade because the defense is an A plus and you're a D, so it averages out to a C? Like, are you actually carrying weight, or is it just
absolutely?
okay,
Because if we don't score, we don't win.
okay?
If we don't
Gotcha.
score, that's a different ball game. We lose.
Okay.
So when we got down to the goal line, we got in the goal line. We had to kick a couple field goals, but you know what? Detroit didn't. If Detroit would have kicked a couple field goals, maybe the conversation would have been different. Maybe they would have had a different opportunity towards the end of the game or something. Maybe Nick Sirianni doesn't try to do a second touch push, and maybe he just does punt, or it just changes things. So when you look at it from that standpoint, because we talked all week, and me and Tone talked this morning, this is going to be a litmus test. Who's going to start Jameer? Who's going to stop Jameer Gibbs? My bold prediction was Jameer Gibbs. The defense was going to hold him under 50 yards rushing. I was 100% correct. However, I didn't expect him to get 105 yards receiving.
Man, look at that, Coach. Your running back can't run the ball, so we're gonna get it to him in the passing game. Who would have thought?
You go from rushes to touches. You just make sure that kid touches the ball, and that's exactly what they did.
I didn't know that was legal, Coach. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could do that.
What's going on, dude?
Two things. One, we can do that. We just have a habit of doing that 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage for some strange reason. We don't get Saquon Barkley. His catch is going towards the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. He got to catch his 9 yards back and fight to lose 7. But that's neither here nor there. I actually look at this game, and I hear everybody, and I know what the talk gonna be this week. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna completely agree with it. Watching this game tonight, I really honestly don't think the offense was that bad, and I'm gonna tell you why. We made some stupid mistakes. I counted at least 5 drives where we were driving and then a negative play happened, whether it was a penalty, a tackle for loss. The one that really got me was when Landon got pushed back on that 3rd and 1. Like that was the one that really got me. Every time it seemed like every time we got into a rhythm, there was a negative play.
Something stupid happened. Yep.
But and then there were at least 5 drops tonight.
Yeah, we did drop a lot of balls. I mean, you might be right. I might have a different outlook on it after I watch.
And another thing with Jalen, I'm gonna reserve my judgment on Jalen's performance because I need to know exactly how much of those throws was the wind and how much was him.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, the wind.
I said the same thing because it was hard to gauge which way the wind was blowing, but it was blowing.
Yeah.
Because I definitely think that one to Dallas on the slide fade. I definitely think the wind took that one.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Because Jalen don't miss that throw. I like
the one to Saquon and the one to AJ, and then that back shoulder one when Granson dropped it, hit him right in the hands.
That made me so mad.
I said, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. Right through his hand.
If his name ain't Dallas Goedert, don't need to be.
That might have been Jalen's best throw of the night.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it might have been.
Right.
He had the one to Jahan that was good too.
My man Robbie say he's just waking up in Germany. Just saw the score. Was the win actually a big factor? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it
But
was. It caused Detroit to miss a field goal. So yes, it was a factor. It was hard to tell. That deep shot, that one deep shot to AJ. Did it get pushed? Did the wind take it? Because it looked like he had a hard time dialing in what he needed to do on
yeah.
those deep passes. So he had the one, and the one that he dropped, the one that Granson dropped, and then the one that Dotson caught.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice.
I'm
But
gonna tell you another reason. I'm gonna tell you another reason why I'm not that upset about the offense right now, because we saw something that we haven't seen, and that was AJ wasn't isolated at the X all night. He lined up in multiple different spots tonight, and we haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, but here's the problem. The offense can still be predictable in those situations. They ran that one play where they ran the screen to AJ to our right side, and they got sniffed out. He ended up taking like a 2 or 3 yard loss on the play. But normally that's the same exact play that Devontae Smith runs, where he gets the ball thrown out there. They just swap places. Him and AJ just swap places. But that was the same damn play.
We got the most telegraphed screen game in the NFL.
Yes, we do.
And poorly blocked.
I know.
Yes,
I called that screen before the play started, so I know the defense did.
Yeah, Sigma versus the haters. I don't think the tush push is overused as whatsoever. I think the problem is, and I said this before, when you run a tush push and Jalen Hurts goes forward directly straight ahead, that's a problem, because everybody in front of him is going to their knees, going to the ground, so he can't step over them. So when you go forward on the tush push as the quarterback, you are dependent on the guys that are literally pushing you. What Jalen Hurts needs to do is go back to sliding left, sliding over your tackle. You should be running right over your left guard's left butt cheek. That's where the gap is. That's where the weak point is on the line of scrimmage, and that's where you should attack. They were doing that in the beginning, and then they stopped. They did it last year, and now they trying to make it look like a true quarterback sneak. Keep doing what you've been doing, refine it a little bit, but they ain't no way they should have been stopped, but they were. So,
and Coach, I was going to ask you this question towards both of y'all. We all here, but Coach, you obviously both of y'all. When I look at, because we talking about the offense, like at this point, I'm just wondering. This is just a question, not me thinking it. Are we capable, this scheme, the head coach, are we capable of like spreading the ball around? Because
sure, we've seen it.
I'm talking about consistently though. Like we have a one-off.
Well, consistently is the problem, but if your kids, if you've been telling your kids to clean up their room all year, and then one of them finally listens and they decide to clean up their room, that means you could have been doing this all year and we wouldn't have no problems. So if I've seen it once, that means I can see it again. How come I'm not seeing it again? That's the problem.
Man,
I know you can do it. I've seen you do it, but now you telling me you can't? Like, why the defense is not letting you do it again? That doesn't make sense to me. You find a way to make it work, because that's what works. Period.
I'm not getting. I said it from the beginning. It's just, to me, and it does start with the offensive line problems. I think that's the root of a lot. But man, it's just too much on this offense for it to be as anemic as it is. Like, it's bad.
Look at it like this, man. Every problem has a solution. So anybody else in the league, if your offensive line can't hold blocks, what do? 3-step
Get rid of
drop.
it quick.
3-step drops. Go to shotgun. You drop 3 steps. That's a 7-step or 8-step drop because of the depth. So there's ways to combat that. We just don't do it.
Thank God for that defense, man. That defense, maybe the headlines should just be, man, that defense is really that good. Like,
it is. I think Jalen Phillips was the cherry on top. Nobody was expecting that. I expected him to be good, but not this damn good.
And this quick. he's gotten. I mean, he's fit in. Like there was no period of like, okay, we trying to work him in. Like from day one, he's
No,
hit
he's
the
ready to
ground
go.
running. He's ready to go, and he's made a visible impact. I'm like, even some of the places where he didn't get sacks, like just speeding up golf, and I'm like, yo, even as good as like I know the Rams are playing. Well, the Rams didn't see us with Jalen Phillips or N'Kobe Dean.
Right.
So I'm like, for all those people who think these other teams that's lighting it up are going to do this against the Eagles, I would think twice. Like, I'm at a point, I'm not going to lie to you. Our defense just might be that good. It just might be.
No, I think they are.
We just might be that good, Coach, where
I
we
think
can.
Makuba was playing very physical today. Now, the
I was just going to say that's exactly where I was about to go. Makuba and Reed was laying that hat tonight.
The only thing that concerns me about Makuba is he has that physical flash, but he doesn't wrap up. And that scares me. That's a technique thing for me because I've seen guys. I still remember that play when Marcus Epps came up and lowered the absolute boom on Christian McCaffrey in 2022.
And he just bounced off.
He didn't wrap up, and McCaffrey bounced off and kept on running, and ended up being a 17-yard touchdown when it should have been a 3-yard loss. You got to wrap up. You got to do basic stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's maybe part of his growing pains, but I'm telling you, this defense we just might be the 2026 version of the Ravens in 2000, where it's like, you know what, we make a play, and defense closes up shop for most of the game, and we go home with a W, 13-9 or whatever.
You know what? But you know what though, like. I've seen I guess I could be overly optimistic, but I've seen this team win any way it needs to win. So I just feel like if it got to that point, because we've seen where it's gotten to that point and the offense ain't been nothing, and then out of nowhere they explode because they have to. So that's why. And now with the defense playing the way that it's playing, I don't even see us having to do that. But I don't know. I'm just like. If it needs to happen, it's gonna happen. It would be nice to see it every week and to see flashes of it and to see the consistency start building. Like next week, we got the Cowboys. I ain't gonna lie to you. If the offense look like this against the Cowboys defense, I'm gonna be seeing a totally different tune next week. I swear to God.
But why would you think it's gonna look different though? That's what I keep wondering. From why do people think the offense?
Yeah, because it's not. Different? This is what we got. Everybody's waiting for that. Everybody's waiting for that switch to be flipped. And to me, that's the problem. We waiting for something
exactly
supernatural to happen, and it's like, no, we've been grinding at this long enough. This might be what we are
because we've seen it this year. We've seen it in the halves. We've seen it in games. We just ain't seen it consistently.
But that's my point. But what have we seen consistently?
We've seen more bad than good.
And that's the people that are optimistic. That's what we're saying. We're looking for the consistency. The ones that are not optimistic, y'all make it sound like we ain't seen it at all, and that's just not true.
Well, and again, we've seen flashes.
Yeah, we've seen we played 10 games. I can count.
We've seen flashes, dude. Don't tell me what we did against the New York Giants.
Yeah, that don't count. I can count the second half of the Rams game, the first half against Tampa. That's about it. Against quality teams.
Exactly.
That's about it. Other than that, or in Minnesota, we'll say Minnesota.
Yep,
that was a quality defense.
Minnesota and the New York Giants were our best games.
Yeah,
and one of them we lost.
I'm not about to discount the Giants game because I've been watching the Giants. Everybody ain't doing that to the Giants.
The Giants
they losing, but everybody ain't doing that to them.
No, the Giants is bad. The Giants is bad.
That's your prerogative, but you can't. I just got to look at it like. We have every week. We've only had one game, in my opinion, where we quote unquote dominated like we should. We've only had 1 week, and that was the Giants game.
Absolutely.
Now we've had 2 possession wins as well, but for whatever reason, it don't translate. It just don't. Those were mundane wins.
Yeah. But here's the thing, Coach, and this is where I know you, because you've been preaching this, and I'm with you 100%, and I'm going to tie it in. You've been saying all year, and you right on, there is no dominant team. There's been none. And the thing about it, that for the crowd of people that's like, well, the Eagles offense has a capability of showing up when it needs to. I think what coaches mentioned, and I've been saying, even AJ is talking about, you playing with fire, because we're not undefeated. Remember what happened when we played Denver and we didn't have it that day? What happened? We lost. Remember
Yeah.
when we didn't have it against the Giants? We lost. And what I'm looking at it for, I'm like, I don't care about next week against Dallas or when we play Buffalo. What I do care about is if you have one of these days in January and you don't have it, and the defense makes a mistake here or there, you going home.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at it. Like, I don't care about the regular season. Like, we passed that. We're trying to win championships. And I'm like, all it take is a Denver Bronco week 5 game or New York Giant week 6 game for us to be like, what the hell happened to our season? That's where I'm looking at it from. I don't care about the regular season.
Okay. So let me tell you where I'm looking at it from. How many times y'all think we had? Y'all said we only had one dominant game this year, right?
From start to finish, yeah. One.
So we only had one dominant game this year,
Complete. I'll say
and
complete, as in both
we,
sides of
we,
the ball.
had, we had one complete game this year, but we got 8 wins. And you telling me about the 2 games where we didn't have it and we lost? I can tell you 7 times we didn't have it and we won.
No, but we talking about winning a
and
championship,
that
though.
no, but that's fair. That is a fair criticism. But to what AJ said, you know it's going to get tougher the closer you get to the playoffs.
And I don't disagree with AJ.
And what you don't want to do is come up short when it's win or go home.
Exactly.
So you got to start. You got to start. You got to start solving these problems now.
And like I said, I don't disagree with nothing. I don't disagree with no criticisms. I don't disagree with anything. I'm just in the camp of, I've seen this team when they need to do it, do it. And I've also seen this team when they know the defense is playing the way that they playing. Kevin Patullo goes into a shell with his play calling, and we still win those games.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, and I also know that all these quarterbacks that's being named and all this, when we get to the playoffs, you are absolutely right. And we are on the fast track to having the number 1 seed as long as we handle our business.
Yeah.
We got the tiebreakers against all the big players. We got them.
Yeah.
We handle our business. We got the number 1 seed. You tell me a quarterback in the NFC you trust in the link more than Jalen Hurts.
Everybody wishes they had our problems.
I mean, see, I don't. But to me, though, I agree with that. But again, I don't look at it that simple. I look at it as overall as a team. Even if Jalen is great, you playing with. Because let's not forget this: we won last year, and we went through that great playoff run. Coach, if Jalen Carter don't get that sack against the Rams last year, I don't know if we have the parade in Philly. Like, that's what I'm saying. When your offense plays like that, you are playing with fire, because you don't have to. In other words, the other team quarterback don't have to be great. Bo Nix ain't great. He stuck around long enough in a game, and they got to the 4th quarter, and they made a couple plays, and our offense didn't have it. And if that happens in January, you going home. That I'm just looking at it like you playing with, like, even tonight's game. You see, we was playing with fire. We should have beat Detroit by 30. That's how good our defense was. But you playing with fire if you keep thinking, if we like the off and on switch thing, like, oh well, we, typically like our offense will show up. Well, what if it don't? Because we ain't been doing that. Then what? Like, this ain't a video game. We can't just say, well, it's capable. Well, but consistently though, what has it shown us? And if that trend continues, then yeah, can we do it? Yeah, but the point is, you playing with fire. You are basically maximizing your opportunity for disaster if you keep thinking we'll just have it when we need it, instead of saying, you know what, we're gonna take it to this team regardless of whether we need it or not. The Rams and some of them other offenses, they don't play like that. They're gonna take it to you no matter what. We got this thing where it's like, well, if we need it, then we'll do it. But what if we don't? Because we needed it against Denver. We didn't have it that day. What about against the Giants?
I'm just at the situation where I don't, and I know we're nitpicking.
Mm-hmm.
We're nitpicking, but I don't want offensive scraps. I don't want us to be panning for gold
and I can respect that. That I can respect.
We need to go out there and be putting at least 21, 30 something points on the board every week.
every week.
I
Every
agree with that. And I guess what I'm saying is I don't like I'm making it clear I don't disagree with the criticisms. My issue is like we're at this point now where it's like we're so it's almost like we're thinking it's gonna happen. Like, oh, we're gonna lose because of this. This team has shown us like over and over. When it's
Yeah,
time to make that play, they make it.
the
They
defense does
make
anyway.
it.
So, and you know what? Going forward, I'm gonna have to look at it like this. You know, we got 5 more weeks of football.
No, we got like
Seven.
what 7? We
Seven
no, we
Got
weeks.
got
7 more
7
weeks
years
of
old.
football.
yeah, we got 7 more.
Okay, so they got 7 weeks to turn this offense around.
Quickly.
That's my whole point right there. It's like we don't this, and that's another thing. That's another issue I have when we have this conversation. Oh, well, if we play like this in January, we're gonna. Well, it's not January. We got 7 more weeks before January.
Yeah, but again, but that's exactly what I mean when I say it's very difficult to just flip a switch.
Yeah, that's what
It's very difficult to do
that's
that.
my thing.
So you got to build yourself up to it. You know, half of when we say stuff like that, that means you know Jalen can get into a groove and finally start throwing the ball well this year and things like that. So or Saquon and the offensive line can start clicking for whatever reason and start blowing holes open, and Saquon can start, averaging 115 a year or a game. That could happen. But
Absolutely.
what is Kevin Patullo going to do to improve
Yep.
in 7 weeks? What is he going to do different that he hasn't done already?
Or try
Or
to
what
do.
can he do?
I like when they run Jalen. I do like that.
They don't
That's
even do that no more though.
that's
They don't. They
that's
don't do it enough.
I
I
know.
I
And
don't.
the way the refs been calling stuff, do I really want him to do that?
Nope.
Not really.
I said I like it, but yeah, I'm with you, coach. I just like I said, I just look at it like I feel like success is all about habits and the habits that you build on a daily basis, not what you do on the one-off. Like on the one-off, yeah, we can have the explosive 30-point or 40-point, whatever, 300-yard passing day or Saquon, based on what I'm saying, but just the habit of consistently keeping teams that you should be blowing out in games. Like, and maybe that's the testament to how good we are as a total team, because we in every game, but at the same time, when you in every game, what if the ball don't bounce your way that day? Like, it's gonna come a day where maybe, what I'm saying, it's already happened. And I'm not being negative. I'm just talking about more on the cautionary side, to where playing like this is not like we don't get comfortable with it. Because if you do,
At this ratio though, the 2 times it did bounce our way, I can tell you 8 times it did. So like we it's a process. I'm gonna sound like Jalen when I say this, but it's a process. Like, and we're dealing with a play caller who's never called plays on any level. That's the problem we really have. If we're
Yeah,
being
but
honest.
that don't bother me because when you in the meeting rooms and stuff like that, you know what you want to do. You've been in enough, you've been
I say
behind the
that
scenes for what 7 years or whatever. How long Patullo been here?
the reason
yeah,
why
he
the
been
reason
there, I
why
think, since Sirianni got there.
the reason why I say that, coach, is not because of what's going on in the meeting rooms. Like, obviously he knows that he's been there. It's the in-game adjustment part as for him as a play caller that
Yeah, but
hasn't been good.
but I mean, to be fair, um, it to me is not really adjustments. Adjustments you don't really do too much adjusting at halftime. With all of the game planning you do and all of the research and homework you got to do during the week to get ready for a game, it is very difficult to just do something at halftime in 15 minutes to change up your whole game plan. You've prepared for everything. Now you might open up some things that you didn't use or you haven't talked about, but that was in the game plan during the week. So it's not unfamiliar. That's the key. You can't bring nothing, out of the archives that nobody's practiced, nobody's, Look at Shador Sanders today. That's what happens when you don't. That's what happens when you don't practice with the ones. That's what happens when you don't get blitz pickup.
Well,
You ain't seen it and you ain't ready for it. So
okay. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Like last week against the Packers, we saw two different. We saw two different times they tried that patented out route, and Ballantyne almost picked six.
yes,
Why are we not going? Why are we not double moving this guy?
the out and up. That's a great
Like,
question.
that's the type of adjustments I mean. Like you throw that twice, and you say you see this dude is back foot.
We ran the same play tonight, and the same result happened.
And that's that. I'm guessing. I guess that's more so my point. I like. It's like you see he's betting the farm on that throw. Like,
yeah. But how do you relay that to your offensive coordinator? That's the point. That's the point right there that I'm saying that those things right there could be the difference between winning and losing. Those points right there could be the difference between when it's 6 or 7 minutes left in the game. Do you have a 1 possession lead? Do you have a 2-point lead? Do you have a 2 possession lead? Like those make that happen. We want to be in a situation where we are in control, period. We don't want to have to rely on the defense to make a stop.
Absolutely.
We want to be in control. Put your foot on their neck in the fourth quarter. They can't win if they can't score. That's the defense doing what they're supposed to be doing. In my opinion, we still ain't paying our half of the rent. What we did today was the rent is $1,000 a month. And we just gave the roommate, we gave him $200. We still owe $300 more. You gotta come correct. And there's only been a couple of games where I think everything was clicking for the offense. And sometimes the optics are, whether it's true or not, the optics look like that we are regressing as an offense instead of progressing.
And
I got a question. And did you notice this? Whenever like Lane gets hurt, do they not work on another lineman to do the 6 lineman stuff? Because it's like as soon as Lane gets hurt, we right back to shotgun. There's no more under center, no more like 6 lineman stuff, even though it'll be working.
Probably not. Because if it was that simple, they would have had somebody else do it. I think by doing that, you were doing 2 things. Number one, you were getting him involved in the game plan. So he knows. Hold on for a second. Something's going on in my house. Hold on.
Gotcha.
Y'all keep talking.
You still there?
Yeah. I'm still.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, though, I'm happy, like, in terms of this, like, I'm excited about this defense, man, because I really think defense does win championships. Like, let's not get it twisted. You got to be able to stop people if you're going to win championships. So I'm like, I think that side of the ball, what Vic is doing, I don't know. Is it going to be better than last year's defense? I don't know. It's a lot to ask for right now, but I'm like,
we cut down on the mistakes and our offense was skyrocketing. If you really take a step back and look at most of our offensive failures, it's because we get behind the chains because of mistakes. Missed blocking, penalty here. It's not necessarily that we not making the plays. The plays will get made and then it'll get called back for illegal formation.
But where I'm at with that, if this was like Coach, I know how you be having like the first 4 weeks is like a little, not a grace period, but you like that's an extended preseason. If it was during that time period, I wouldn't have no problem with like that approach. But I'm like, if somebody keeps showing you who they are,
and that's why I started. That's when you got to start looking at the coach staff. Is like, why are we still undisciplined?
I agree.
It's week 11. Like, if this
like,
was
why are we still making the same? Like, why can't we still get lined up and get illegal formations? Like, why like holding penalties? Okay, that's one thing. Holding happens every play. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's at the leisure of the ref, basically. But it starts, like, why are we still getting false starts?
Man.
Well, I mean, stuff like that happens. I'm not. That's the least of my concern because you can take the best team and somebody will jump off sides eventually. That's just part of the game. You get somebody that ain't got reps, been sitting on the bench, and just don't. They know it's on two or they know what it means, but when you don't get the rhythm and you don't get in practice, all of that type of stuff. So that doesn't necessarily bother me. What what concerns me is the scheme that we're running on offense.
Yep.
It is below average at best. And I keep saying the same thing. I hope we don't get to a point where that burns us. And I know we got 7 weeks left, but eventually we're gonna have 4 weeks left, and then eventually we're gonna have 2 weeks left, and then eventually we're gonna have no weeks left because we end the playoffs. And then if you get burned, you go home.
Yep.
So it's not like we trying to, I'm not gonna take my 16-year-old granddaughter and throw her in the car and throw her in a manual and say, hey, you got to figure out how to drive stick. You can't do that. You gotta show them how to get there. And right now on our offense, we not doing that. We are totally reliable on our defense.
Absolutely.
Because we are not scoring points at a clip that we can just take off.
Yeah.
We haven't had one mop-up duty game yet.
Nope.
Where you putting the scrubs in. We haven't had one game like that.
We had a few of them last year.
Sure, we did.
We had a few of them last year, but
Saquon would have broke the record, and 2 weeks early if he'd have stayed in that Giants game.
Yeah,
but
we
were in mop-up duty. We had the backups playing.
Yeah, we had that game, the Ram game out here in SoFi. That was a mop-up duty game. The one against Pittsburgh, that was a mop-up duty game when Jalen threw it all over the place. Like, we had a few of them games where it was like you could actually see like, oh, we see what this team is for real capable of. They can blow teams out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that blowing teams out is the end all be all, because come playoff time, you might not blow everybody out. But to me, it's not so much blowing teams out, it's the ability to put teams away. Like when they
and you want to force teams to match you.
Exactly.
If you go down and you have a 6-minute drive and you score points on it, the other team has to match you. They can't kick a field goal. They'd have to score.
They have to
so
score.
It puts the pressure, it puts the opponent on their heels. And it makes them do different things because your game plan changes when you have to score quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you're trying to get to. You're trying to make them make mistakes. Our defense made Jared Goff make mistakes because they started trying to score. They had to score quickly, and it wasn't working. And Dan Campbell does Dan Campbell things, going for it and all of that type of stuff, and it doesn't work in his favor.
It was almost comical at one point, like for real, dog. Like you really about to go for it. Like there was the fake punt, the fake punt on 4th and 2.
That fake punt was.
It feel like as he was making these decisions in his mind, it's like he literally saying, "I'm gonna get one of these. I'm gonna get one of them.
I'm gonna get one." And I'm like,
but think about it like this: how many times did he not make it, and how many times did we not convert?
A lot.
So he was playing the odds too, because in the back of his mind is like the offense ain't that good. They're not really doing nothing against us either.
Yeah, because I think that's part of the reason why. Because like I said, as much as we talk about, obviously towards the end of the game, fourth quarter, this game again, if we were competent, this game would have been over in the first half.
It should have been, but
even if we gave last year's team, if you gave last year's team that type of field position 3-4 times in a half, it'd have been 24-0. Because the offensive line and Saquon in the passing game would have been good enough to just run you off the field. But this year's team, because all we dealing with, we can't blow nobody out, put nobody away who really, like I said, this game should have been over way earlier. The way the defense was playing should have been over in the first.
That's why you play. That's why you play the game.
Yeah.
Tiffany said, Coach, I have a question. Do you think bringing in someone else or having someone new call plays will cause conflict amongst the team? Now,
I got to clock back in at work. Appreciate y'all, fellas.
All right, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. The problem, Tiff, is you really can't bring anybody else in. Think about 2 years ago, we did that with Matt Patricia. You don't want to do that. You want to keep people familiar. You don't want to bring a stranger in your house. So the only other option with that is you either A, stick with it, or B, turn over the play calling back to Sirianni. And Sirianni doesn't have a stellar track record calling plays, which leads me to the next part is, or do you just want to give Jalen Hurts more autonomy with what's going on? So bringing in somebody new, I wouldn't advise it. That's something you do in the offseason because that's too much of a shock to a system. You remember that Dave Chappelle skit where they did the husband swap,
Oh
and you had the dude from the hood in the
man,
in the
yeah.
suburbs and vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that. It's too different. You got to get used to somebody's voice. You get used to somebody's cadence and their rhythm and what they do and how they run practice. So once you get familiar with that, you don't want to change it. Sometimes you have to change it, but again, that's what you would probably do in the offseason. You don't want to do something like that in season, in my opinion.
Absolutely. But
Um,
yeah, but all in
yeah,
all,
Cam
like I
Newton.
said, all
I'm
in
trying
all,
to see if there's any more other questions that I missed.
oh, got you. Read them through.
Yeah, we good. Passing game was trash last year. Rob, yeah.
Yeah, it was what it was. But like I said, all in all, man, I think I'm just so happy with this defense, to be honest with you. That's a hell of a team. We just the last 2 weeks, man, they're giving up 8 points a game. Like,
Yeah.
That's something I take to the bank. And I think the addition to Jalen, everybody can see the addition to Jalen Phillips. It's like I said, the defense is amazing. That to
Yeah,
me is
Jalen
something.
Phillips is going to take our defense back to number one.
Back to number
Watch.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
back to
believe
number
that.
one. And against, like, we talking about against quality teams like Detroit, even without Laporta, they're still good. They put up a bunch of points last week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they
So
did.
I'm like, hey, that defense is legit in our offense. Like I said, Coach, I'm gonna just hope they get better. I don't. That's all I got is hope.
They got 7 weeks to get better.
Yeah, we got 7 weeks to get better. We got some opponents. I think we got the Commanders twice. We got the Raiders. We got Dallas next week. You would
And
think
we gotta stay healthy.
got to stay healthy.
So
But man,
that's always the elephant in the room. You got to stay
yeah,
healthy.
got to stay healthy. Hopefully Lane and Cam ain't too banged up. But if we can, put this thing to get, well, if this thing can continue to get better defensively, we looking at a potential 1 seed, and man, hopefully the offense can catch lightning in the bottle for 2 or 3 games.
Yeah. We'll see. We shall see.
We'll see.
But all right, man. I'm about to shut
Appreciate
it down because I got to go work the morning.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you always, Coach. Go Birds.
All right, man. Go Birds. I will
Yeah.
holler at y'all later. Tiff, Robert, Quentin, everybody. Sigma versus the haters. Everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to bed. I'm tired. We got the dub. We'll talk about it tomorrow. On to the next one. A win is a win. Victory. So I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all be good. Go Birds.